Well, good morning, everyone. This is Knox County Commissioners, December 4th, the last month of the year, winding things up. We do have the Visitors Bureau Convention. I got it all reversed around the annual report. We'll let you say each of your names and if you'll introduce the people that you have in the background there, and we will go ahead and have received your report. So, Olivia, it's over to you.
Thank you for having us. Like Bill said, we're with the Knox County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I have Victoria Preston. She's our board chair. Beth Durbin, our incoming board chair. I have our marketing and development specialist here, Natalie Roth, and our intern Zoe May here with us as well. So we've got the whole gang. We're really excited to talk about this year and what 2025 has meant for the CVB and just our community in general. So as always, we've prepared an annual report for you guys. And so we'll just kind of go through that and talk about why we're here, what we do. You know, sometimes a lot of the things we do are behind the scenes. You may see some magic happening, and we usually try to have our hands in that. So, you know, our vision is to always promote Knox County as this attractive place to live and work, go to school, but mostly visit as well. So it all starts with a visit. That's what we talk about. You can't really decide to move your family here, move your business here, make, you know, that leap to, you know, join this charming community until you visit. And so we know that when we welcome everybody, it's really, really important to make that first impression. So we really like to lay out that.
One quick question.
Yes.
So we have hard copies here. Do you have this in a PDF form that Andrew would be able to put on the website later for those?
Yes, for Andrew. Yeah, that'll be perfect. So, of course. So like I said, we are the destination marketing organization that is, you know, always working to not only strengthen our community, but also work on what that economic development piece means for the businesses that create tourism impact and other assets within our community, like trails and parks. So we have a lot of partners, a lot of pieces to stay in tune with, but all of those partners are extremely important to us. We've included, you know, just some different pieces in there that we had as far as marketing. These were a few of our advertisements that were recognized this year for outstanding at the Travel Association. So we're excited to share those. And, you know, like a lot of organizations, we work, you know, underneath an umbrella within the Ohio Department of Development, underneath the tourism office at the state level. So we've laid out just some of that methodology that we use with the state department, and that really funnels down to us. You know, what does that direct spend look like when people use our lodging establishments? What does that look like when they buy a ticket to our entertainment? And how does that go back to our taxes, our wages, and really affect our folks? So direct spending, indirect spending, the businesses, you know, if the hotel is hosting someone, where did the hotel get those sheets washed? You know, did they get them washed locally? Where did they get their food sourced? Did they get it from a farm here locally? So we're looking at that indirect spend as well, and then induced spending. So that's, you know, the people that are working at a lodging establishment, that are working at a restaurant, where do they go and spend their wages as a person that lives in our community? So that's kind of that method we like to look at that impact. It's not just they're coming in town and they're buying something from a small business. It really does have this ripple effect, which is really cool to see. So on that next page, you'll see that we have some state key findings, you know, just to know that Ohio is booming in itself. We feel really excited about the way Ohio is marketing itself, and that, you know, Ohio is just a day's travel of 60% of the United States. So as Ohioans, we always get joked upon that we like to take a trip all the way to Florida. We'll drive anywhere as Ohioans. Well, you know, being within a day's drive to 60% of the United States really pays off for us. And because we have a lot of key assets that people are looking for, from the beach to the rivers to the shores, you know, we have a lot of things going on. So we feel very passionate about the product that Ohio is pushing out there, and we like to push that forward. So again, I mean, as we know, we're growing. Central Ohio is amazing. It's really, really cool to see, to be the seventh most populous state in the entire country. We really want to capitalize on that. And we know that, you know, being in Central Ohio is such an asset for us because we sit in this really beautiful spot where we have appropriate growth. We have really nice amenities and access to, the highways and manufacturing, and we do a really good job of talking about that. So it's staying in tune with our partners like ADF or anyone that's working in our downtown associations within our villages to really understand how they're seeing people move and shake in their community. Yeah.
Just an explanation for me, because maybe I'm reading it wrong. The total personal income, this is equivalent of nearly 2,300 per household in Ohio on the average.
Yeah, so this is talking about when we have this kind of spend, if we have the 19.1 billion as far as people having jobs within tourism, that's showing like that impact of if we didn't have that. I think for us, it was translated last year. If we didn't have the impact of the sales tax that happens within tourism locally, that would cost our taxpayers an extra $400 in what they're paying, if that makes sense.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me try again. So it was saying that if we didn't have that kind of sales generated, we would need our local people to then generate those kinds of sales. Yeah, sorry. So locally, I know last year we talked about, I think it was about $480 per household if we didn't have this kind of economy coming into our communities. So yeah. It on these two pages, we focused on that overnight tourism impact. Obviously, that's extremely important for us as we're functioning off bed tax. And so to see growth in the overnight trips, our visit nights, and total visitor spend is really exciting. So we're looking at obviously people come for that overnight trip, but we're seeing that we're having multiple nights. It's not just one night. We're seeing an average of about 2.5 to 3 nights. And so for us, we've had a year of 7% increase of just overnight trips, and that's equated to 650,000 visit nights itself. So people are coming with their families as well. We know our demographic is a young family with about 4 people within their household. So making sure we have those amenities and attractions that keep them here longer. The state talks about most of the people that visit Ohio have friends and family in Ohio. About 58% of Ohio visitors are seeing their friends and families. So again, that goes back to being impactful for our community and being a leader of what we have here and making our community feel like they really know how they can, invite their family in and celebrate for a weekend and make it a little bit more fun than just, staying inside all weekend. So
People will wonder, how do you get that stats? That's from the hotels, that the Airbnbs that we have in our community.
yes, so our stats, these are from our Placer AI platform. And so this year we've collaborated with them to understand visitor spend. And so we've invested in the platform to see that. And so they track that through cell phone data, credit card transactions, and overnight lodging facilities. So yeah.
Yeah, because I know that the Mount Vernon Arts Consortium, when they have a program on, they're able to use the credit card information to find out what areas people are coming from in order to come.
Yeah, so this data is a really great resource for our partners like MVAC and other partners within downtown, because they're getting that credit card data, but then we're also getting that foot traffic data. So it's showing, okay, they did come to the show, but where did they go after? I think the first year that we invested in this, we spoke with the Music and Arts Festival and saw, people were staying here, that big impactful night, but then where did they go after? They were looking for some places to eat. And so that's where we're talking with all of our partners to say, do you maybe want to have some specials that weekend? Do you want to stay open a little later? So it's not just an idea, it's data. We're seeing that these top restaurants where people go before and after, just knowing that traffic really helps us understand our visitor. And even from the trail, knowing that our property where we sit on the trail, knowing if someone's looking for a quick bite, as much as we want them to go where they'd want to go, we'd rather be able to drive them into downtown and eat at a local establishment. So those are really important things to look at.
Who doesn't go to a festival and take their cell phone? So we love it when the outsiders come and we are checking all of how long they stay, where they go, how much time was spent at a particular part of the festival. And then as she said, what they do afterwards. And so sometimes cell phones can be the bane of our existence, but in this case, We are loving that data, aren't we?
I mean, it's about being strategic in our planning, you know, so many of our partners are all fighting for the same kind of money and funds. And also, should we add another day to our festival? Should we add this kind of amenity? Where are people parking? What are they looking for? Just this year, when we were talking with Ariel Foundation Park about their 4th of July event, you know, they had another record number this year with 4th of July, and letting them know where people were entering the park. So when it comes to security, as, oh, we had most of our traffic coming this way, maybe we can close off another way or open another way, or think of the timing and impact of that as far as resources. So we're just happy to provide that kind of insight.
So the cell phone. Yeah, so somehow there's some kind of tracking data that you're able to get. So if I don't want to be tracked, is there a way for my cell phone not to be tracked?
Say the caveat is not that like we built this system, we did not build this system. Yeah, this is a whole other platform
Maybe
that
don't buy a cell phone.
we don't control. But I would say,
You
Yeah.
no longer need to worry about somebody putting a chip in your arm, you carry it.
yeah, your $800 flashlight does it for you.
Maybe my Amish friends have it right.
Exactly.
Right,
You know,
right.
they come from-
So yeah, that's the thing we note as well, is obviously not everyone at all of our events or, you know, that comes into town may have a cell phone or something phone. So these are really roundabout numbers, but we know this accuracy of just traffic and foot pattern really, again, helps our partners be agile and nimble when it comes to planning. So something I'd really like to know is our overnight trips by regional market. And for us, I think it's really impactful to say that we've seen a visitor spend from the Cleveland area $2.9 million from our Cleveland friends coming in, doing an overnight, couple overnight stays. This kind of snapshot is really important to us of where we're pushing our marketing. Over the last year, we really made a concerted effort to push more of our trail marketing down to Dayton. They have a lot of similar green resources. They really like the outdoors and champion the trails like we do. And so we knew that would be a really good spot to kind of invite those folks up. So seeing them down on the list just kind of it informs us that we're going to take a stab at that and keep going at that. And we know our Cleveland folks, they know what we have, they like what we have, we're accessible by them. And for them, they probably think they're getting out of the city and enjoying something a little bit different, but they can still have that big entertainment and that small town feel. So for us, that kind of chart will really be nice as we head into marketing and planning.
So is there a way to narrow that down as to whether how many of those are Cleveland Browns fans coming down looking for fans?
Actually, no, there is, they give us a lot of demographics on the back end. And so they would be able to say these kinds of consumers, you know, get their information on sports sites, or they get their information on social media and that sort of thing. So they get really broke down on the back end, but I'll work on that brown. So
Yeah,
that,
Spoke about the man wearing brown.
yeah.
Oh,
I want to ask, is there a specific month that we are tracking Cleveland? Are there a couple months ago, these are the top months?
I don't have specific for Cleveland, but our peak weekends are always 4th of July weekend. That's our biggest traffic as far as into the county. And then probably those bookend days, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Again, you're looking at that friend and family kind of traffic. And that's, you know, the big push of trails as well, as that kind of opening, ending time. So, yeah.
Would you assume that a lot during those holidays, a lot of these people were staying with friends at Apple Valley because they have such a celebration on the 4th out there?
You know, honestly, I think it runs across the board. When we were working with Ariel Foundation Park to do some numbers for them, we saw that they had quite a bit, you know, obviously about 80% of the attendees at Ariel Foundation Park are within that 43050, but we're seeing a lot of Newark. We saw some Zanesville. We're seeing kind of out that way. So that's just interesting because, again, I don't.
so they're coming for the day, those North people?
Yeah, they were coming for that event.
Okay.
So I think just understanding like those events, Apple Valley Fireworks is not something that we've ever kind of looked at, just knowing that it is a private property owners association. But yeah, I would imagine obviously friends and family at the lake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The next page is just kind of give that nice reminder of who our state partners are, who our local partners are, and you know, that umbrella we sit under as these state partners, and then the umbrella that we hold over our local partners here. Really partnering with both sets of these partners give us access to things for our partners here locally, and just access to information and you know, bigger marketing strategies in our way. Something new that will be coming up that we have a great hand in is with Mid-Ohio Regional Planning. They're piloting a Trail Town program, and we'll be piloting that here in Mount Vernon. We'll also be helping pilot that in Centerburg. So we're really excited to work with Morpsey on that, and I think that'll be a really great just further development with our trails. We're really ready for it, and Morpsey saw that in us and saw that in our community, that these are two areas of Central Ohio that really know what the trail is about and really know how to cultivate that. So we're excited to put ourselves on the map for that. The next few pages are partner impact pages. These are just some really great snapshots of our work and how it ties into other partners. That first one there is a larger initiative that we worked on this past year for our arts partners in Mount Vernon. It was an insert within Ohio Magazine. And for us, you know, all our arts partners, again, are looking for that funding, are looking for that help. And so when it comes to marketing and when it comes to really pushing their events out, we want to be that resource for them. So this asset was not only put in Ohio Magazine, but then was printed and promoted out into our villages. We distributed about 1,000 of these within the community and beyond. And then it was printed 40,000 copies were distributed within Central Ohio. So over 32 businesses highlighted within, and associations, you know, talking about summer front porch concert series, all the way to the larger events going on at all of the venues. You know, we want to make sure we're capturing it all because people are coming in at different times. We want to make sure we bookend those weekends. Weekends have gotten longer as the COVID ecosystem has changed what it looks to like work and play and have that balance. So we want to make sure we capture all that. That page gives a nice downtown summary of just what we've seen year to date in the downtown Mount Vernon area. We're seeing about 1.1 million visits to downtown, which really equates to a visitor frequency of 5 visits per person. So what's really nice for that is that you can have deals, you can have kind of punch cards, you can have visitors that may come for one weekend to see a big concert and say, man, I didn't have enough time to go on the trail. Let's come back. So that's what we're trying to do, working with these partners in town.
That's great. Get them back, right?
Yeah,
Get a
exactly.
taste, get a
Yeah.
taste of Mount
Yeah,
Vernon.
and then we can really cultivate that person. They come back so many times and might just move their whole life here. The Middle Earth March through Mount Vernon was a really impactful event that our merchants put on. We collaborated with them directly with our new software platform, Bandwango, and this is a digital pass platform, and we'll be implementing a few more of these passes over the next year. When it comes to history, when it comes to a coffee trail, there's a lot of potential with this platform, so we're really excited. We were excited to pilot it with this program. The number that it's one thing to host an event and kind of hand out flyers throughout the weekend, throughout the event. But with this, we were able to partner with the merchants and people that attended this event were able to scan this digital pass and then use it to scan and check themselves into downtown. So just with, about 70 pass users, that equated to about over 700 check-ins into downtown businesses. And so you're seeing people that have never, maybe explored an antique shop or went into this certain body shop or candle shop, people
That was one day, sorry.
that was
one day.
one day, and that was just with the digital platform. So to be able to give our merchants that feedback of say, hey, it really was worth it to participate in this and really get them on the bandwagon to further kind of cultivate that community when it comes to making interesting events happen like that. So they do have plans to make that happen next year, and I'm excited to.
Can you expand a little bit more about that program?
Yep.
Was it something they put on their cell phone?
Yes, so
They took their cell phone with them?
Yep.
You said-
yeah, so Bandwango as a platform is something that you scan on your cell phone. And it does have an option that it would leave it looks like an app, but it's not an app, it's kind of like an open URL that'll stay on your phone. And you can download that pass for that event of that day. If we have an ongoing pass that's even longer, that'll stay on your phone. And you can choose whether you keep that on your phone or you just keep the link, ready and available. We also have the ability to kind of ping the users to say, hey, you still have like 5 more stops on this pass. Maybe, again, using that repeat visitor to say, hey, you're just in Columbus, you visited a few months ago to use it on the coffee trail. You still need 5 more stops. Next time you come to town, don't forget to pull out your pass.
And what are
use
the
it.
advantages of them pinging and getting their stops?
It depends on what the digital pass is. So for this, the Downtown Merchants, this 1-day event, if you checked into 9 stops, then you got entered into a raffle. In a traditional pass, you would maybe see some merchandise at different levels. You may see like a savings or entered into a drawing. We also have the ability to ask the user if they'd like to receive any further information. So even from the signups from this program, we got about 70 people that were interested in learning more about Experience Mount Vernon, more about the CVB. So then there's more people that we can add to our newsletter list and get them again to repeat and be interested in what we're doing.
So I've been to the Shire down in New Zealand, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so I'm a fan.
Main Street looked like the Shire that Saturday.
So do you market to Lord of the Rings fans?
Yes,
Is how you go about it?
that event was that really started from one of the friends of someone at Paragraphs was bringing their podcast here that was all about Lord of the Rings, and they were bringing their podcast groupies to Mount Vernon for a weekend, and then the merchants really just kind of dived into that and said, let's offer them something a little bit more fun.
And
So
we are in the middle, we're the heart of it all.
yeah, exactly.
We're the
So
American middle earth.
yeah.
But
So-
it is cool to go there to the Shire too.
yeah, so on our end, again, we just kind of took what they needed. We listened to their goals and see how we could impact that. And, from our blog posts to our marketing to our digital platform and piloting that with them, we sent out targeted emails and communication to bookshops across Ohio as well to get out to their folks. So,
That's good.
Another project that we've been working on over the past year is Happy Spokes. And I know you guys have heard about this from Mobility Management and United Way. And so this has been a really great marriage of all of our programs and what it means to have active transportation within our community. Cycling Without Age is such a robust program, but we know here to really make that impact, we wanted it to be for everybody and not necessarily just for the senior homes or anything. We really wanted to understand what it meant to expand this program. And so I'm marketing it as Happy Spokes, riding for all the folks. We're really excited to see what this means at different levels of people. And just this team alone with United Way, Knox Public Health, Mobility Management have been able to secure these 3 tri-shaws in our community. And so we're really, really excited to work over the next couple of months to understand what that program means to us and the trails in the community.
I've seen them out and about
Yeah.
and Foundation Park. I've
Yeah.
seen them pretty-
Yeah. Yeah, we've had one like piloting kind of training session. They're actually they're really, really easy to navigate, but they're pretty high up. But they're really, really cool. And
Commissioner Purcell made the comment in the last meeting we're at, because they showed one with the top up,
yeah,
and Bill said, the driver can't see over the-"
you do need to be a certain height. And I would say if I was piloting, I may need my folks to keep that down. I might need my booster seat, yeah, but. So I think our partnership in this role has not only been the branding with this program, but also when it comes to piloting, what are we teaching our pilots to talk about when it comes to history in downtown or Ariel Foundation Park, making sure that if we have a few different maps laid out of different trips or journeys that these people can take, that it they can choose. Maybe they want silent mode. Maybe they just want to enjoy the nature, and that's totally fine. But there might be people that come up from out of town, or maybe they're, moving grandma back home and she used to ride this railroad with Papa and she wants to hear all about that history again and share hers as well. So it really is this, it's this community impact that is happening on, 3 wheels, and it's really exciting for all of us.
So they sort of can be a trigger if they want them to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right.
what we really hope to bring to the project. So we're still figuring that out, but A new event that happened this year that we had a hand in was Knox County Biketoberfest. That happened the first weekend of October, which is a really great weekend for us in Knox County. We always have really great weather, and it's the beginning of the colors changing. And so Outdoor Pursuits, which is a nonprofit adventure group based out of Columbus, approached us at the end of 24 and said, hey, we really love Knox County. A lot of our cyclists love Knox County and want to see an event happen there. How can we make that happen? And we said, let's make it happen. So we brought those right people to the table, and it really turned out to be a wonderful weekend. Outdoor Pursuits is a well-oiled machine as far as handling these kinds of events. So it was a really nice partner that we could really get everyone's feet wet of putting into practice what it means to together develop an event like this in our community. So Ariel Foundation Park did so much to really welcome them, make sure the property was managed and taken care of for them. So we had nearly 300 registrants for the weekend. Over 50% of them were over the age of 60. So that is usually a cycling kind of demographic, but these are people that can stay a little longer. They can travel a little bit more nimble. We always say when someone's traveling the Ohio to Erie Trail, if they're coming from the south, they are looking to stay. Should I stay in Mount Vernon? Should I stay in Millersburg? And sometimes they don't have their decision made until they stop at the CANC, and we really sell it for them. We say, oh, you got to rest your weary soul. Stop. Go up to the Grand. Go
Hotel.
up to the Mount Vernon
Have you
Inn.
seen the Woodward Opera?
They'll treat you right, yeah. So it's really nice to have these kinds of people back in our community. There was new time people that had never been there. We had 15% were from out of state. And so again, this was impactful not only for our partners who got to put into practice what it meant to come together, but then for people that had never been to really see our trails and to see our roadways. This program, they do both road and trail cycling. And it was really important if they did come here, we really pushed for them to do the trail cycling as well, because we knew our asset could really sell that for multiple, not just, the super road cyclist, but someone who's just looking to enjoy the trail. They also did have 2 memorial rides, one for the founder of the Ohio to Erie Trail, and then they did have a Jim Buckball memorial ride as well. So
Was there a registration fee to do this?
there
The reason I ask
was
it
almost always.
yes.
beer voucher redeemed and food voucher.
Yes, so those two, those are things that they usually do. So
After you hit the trail.
Yeah.
Or when you stop.
Yeah,
then
stop,
yeah.
So the beer voucher is something that Outdoor Pursuits provides, and they worked through us and our partners downtown to decide who could take that. So they worked with Bicker Dykes, Flappers, and Happy Street, and they kind of put their card on file. And so their registrants knew that they could go and have one beer on them at one of these places. So that's what that voucher is. And then the food voucher was for Sunday. They still had 127 participants that did a cycle that morning. And then they were pushed down into the Knox Foodies Food Truck Festival. So again, pushed back into downtown before they left for the weekend. And they redeemed their food voucher that afternoon. So it was a really, really nice weekend. They also were pushed Friday to go down to the Johnny Appleseed Festival. So we kind of bookend a lot of things for them to make them feel like, well, there's a lot of stuff going on for us. We usually found them.
Right.
The next 2 pages just give a nice outline of America 250. I think we've all heard a lot about what is going on next year. And I think our committee over the last year has really just been talking about what it means to, again, elevate what's already happening in our community, any untold stories or storytelling that's already happening. How can we make that more impactful and a way that our community can enjoy it or find entry point where they haven't before. Again, I think there's so many times when people would love to hear things and they may not know what's going on, from the library to the historical society to the ag museum to the fair. I mean, these are really great history pillars in our community that don't always have the means to make sure that they're calling out loud about what they have going on. So that's what we are going to see happening next year as we really talk about American 250 and what it means to what was Knox County's story during that time. So so far our efforts this year have been working with Experience Mount Vernon for these beautification efforts in downtown with utility box project. That project is multi-phase, to get those utility boxes wrapped, and not just wrapped to have art, but wrapped to share history. So once all those are wrapped, we'll be able to tell the story of each of those boxes and share that again on our digital pass platform, where people can go around and kind of check into all of these murals and utility boxes and different history points within the downtown. And same to expand that into the villages and what that means to interact with the village history as well. So lots to be done, lots to
Do
highlight.
you want to share any exciting things we're doing here in Knox on the 250th? Or you want to keep that under hat still?
No, I mean, we are working closely with MVAC and Ariel Foundation Park to do an Ohio Goes to the Movies event. That is still, it's not under wraps, but we're still waiting for state pieces to fall into place. We've been working really close with the state commission, just as far as funding and what they'll provide for that. But we hope to be showing Bye Bye Birdie in honor of Paul Lind, Mount Vernon native, at Ariel Foundation Park in July. So that'll be our Ohio Goes to the Movies event. Yeah.
And I assume you'll put Paul in, you'll coordinate that with the museum since they have the car and everything.
Yeah, well, I already said, let's get that Thunderbird out. We gotta maybe take some rides.
Had a 67 convertible that's red with
They
a white
looked
top
at
and
me
white.
with concerning eyes, but I said, oh, we'll figure it out.
I always think it needs to be in a parade that.
Exactly. So these two pages just give a nice outline of our marketing strategy over 2025, from advertisements to blog space to distribution to our events. Just to highlight a few things, our blog sessions, we had over 28,000 blog sessions. So that means people are not only clicking on our links and following. Our average session time on our website increased by a couple seconds, which is seems silly, but having a over a 2-minute read on your website is a really great number to see. People are staying longer. Our submissions for our forms, whether it be for a visitor guide or to sign up for our newsletter, have increased as well. So we are really excited about, it's been one full year with our new website. And so to see that much traffic has been really, really nice. And obviously we do have paid advertisements, but we've seen a 73% is organic search traffic. So it's something that, something's working. So we feel good about that. This was the second year of our visitor guide. As you know, our visitor guide is biannual. So we're in the throes of planning 26-27's adventure guide, and we're really excited. We'll be launching that in March, and I think that'll be one of our best yet. So something I wanted to note is this year we did attend, we were a sponsor of the Rails and Trails Conservancy National Trail Summit, and that was held in Cleveland, Ohio. It was kind of one of those it was a very unique opportunity. We work close with the Rails and Trails Conservancy just because they work really close with the Ohio to Erie Trail. The Rails and Trails Conservancy is the 34,000 mile trail that spans the entire United States, and Knox County sits along that trail. And so it was really nice to go to this Cleveland conference with 400 attendees, over 40 states, and Knox County was on everyone's lanyard. I heard someone go up to a Rails to Trails Conservancy person and say, "What's Knox County have to do with this?" And the person so wonderfully, because I had already spoken with them, well, they sit in the heart of Ohio. They sit in the heart of the Ohio to Erie Trail, and they're really big trail advocates, and they just want to be a part of this program.
Middle Earth.
And we're the middle earth of Ohio. So it was just really cool to learn from so many different states. I mean, we were only one of 7 CVBs that represented out of those 400 attendees. And so we felt like a really small fish in a big pond, but we knew that we had a lot of support in those groups with our other Ohio partners that see how much work we do with trails here in Central Ohio. So it was just really exciting to see our name there and to be a part of that. The next page just gives, again, if you ever need a reference guide, if anyone needs a reference guide of what our investments look like, from website to insights to partnerships just strategic planning to branding. I mean, this is kind of the package we offer to all of our partners. And you know, from economic development to our lodging, to our amenities, to our attractions and arts partners, we really want to be that toolkit and the, just organization that can really advocate for people and their goals. And while we have goals for the county and what we want to see, we want to make sure that they are lockstep with what all our partners are looking for. You know, obviously we take your plan with Together Knox, we take other villages' strategic plans and make sure that it's all melting together when we look ahead for what it means to welcome people here, not only to visit, but to, you know, move their life or their business here. So, our work is recognized. This page just goes through, you know, what our storytelling has been recognized through our industry. This year, we were awarded our travel association, our print advertising, our annual report from last year. Our visitor guide was recognized as well from Midwestern Travel Magazine, and we did work in collaboration with Experience Mount Vernon to really secure that best hometown nomination for Mount Vernon. So we were really excited this year to just see so much traffic and excitement about our community and to really be a part of that. So, yeah.
Great.
Very good.
Appreciate
I'd
it.
like to add one thing if I may. As a board, we are very pleased to have Olivia heading up the organization. We feel very fortunate. She lives and breathes tourism for the county. I feel like these 2 pages are very important for us because not only is Olivia and staff promoting our county throughout the state, she is also providing all of these services. If somebody, not all of them, if somebody calls and needs a resource within the county, she's helping other smaller organizations promote, which in turn adds to it. And we're not the only ones saying we did a good job. Other people are saying it too
Yes.
with all of our awards.
It's great. And I can say sitting on this committee and this group that they all put a lot of effort into it. And Olivia really, she's researching, vetting things, trying to figure out the best ways. But I wanted to ask you, Lydia, if you could highlight some things that you think what we need the most or what you would put a spotlight on in Knox County. And then the other thing, what type of businesses do we need that you see a little bit of like deficit of we need more of this for business people to maybe consider Knox County a place for business?
Yeah. As far as spotlighting what is really what we have going on, what we're proud of.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
and where we could put a greater light in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always go to our outdoors. I think we're just so uniquely positioned within Central Ohio that you're not hearing a highway, that you are seeing more green than you are pavement, and I think that's extremely important for us. And that is why we really put the push behind that trail development. So I would say that is our highlight. That is our, I always say the phrase that some people have football hall of fame, our trails are football hall of fame, our outdoor resources are hall of fame. So I know we always have the support. We have the organizations that keep it clean, that work hard to, you know, make it impactful for people and accessible for people. So I would like to see continued development around that. When it comes to that, you know, outdoor resources, we have some really great outdoor businesses from Danville Outdoors to some other folks in the community that, you know, outfit people to get ready to hunt and fish and participate in our outdoors. But I think we really could see some more of that. Again, I think more river access in that way. When we're thinking about just about anything in our community, we're always trying to think of access. It's not just about that super duper cyclist that has $1,000 bike. It's about that kid in, you know, 5th grade that just got a bike and doesn't know where the trails are, doesn't know if it's safe to go on the trails. You know, it's just that communication and education is really important. And I think having more of those outdoor resources and kind of things would be really, really great along the river.
For those who are watching, just briefly, how are you funded?
Fully through bed tax.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if a lot of people
Yeah.
understood that.
Yeah, no, people don't. And so, I mean, I think that's what's interesting and what we always try to tell people. Of course, we're looking for the overnight visitor, but we really, more than anything, we want our community to feel the same kind of pride that we do. We really can't have our visitor coming here having an authentic experience if our own community hasn't experienced that. If they see an advertisement like, I've never had that much fun on the trail. Okay. Okay, then how do we get you to have that much fun on the trail? You know, this is your trail, this is your space, so we've really tried to make sure the villages feel empowered of their space. You know, over the past year, working a lot with Ackerman Nature Preserve and Pam and what they're doing over there to say, you know, just holding them up to say, this is really impactful for your community, and this is how it can make a change, and to continue to say, you know, hopefully we can connect the Owl Creek Trail to Ackerman Preserve, and just talking about what that means as a community, as an ecosystem of their assets. And you may think a micro or pocket park doesn't mean much, but it really does. So that's our job, is to really make people feel
Good.
proud of that.
And we have a bike shop here and they have trails and encouragement too.
Yeah, exactly, so.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's
It's a
Yeah.
great job that you
Thank
do
you.
all the time. That's how we can encourage and support.
Yeah, of course.
Just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
By the way, did she have anything to say? Cause I don't think I heard her talk the whole time.
Stuffy.
Well, have a great weekend.
Have a great
ladies.
weekend, ladies.
Oh, I got it.
Do we have the health department out there?
Not yet, he's scheduled at 11.
Okay, yeah, so we can go over the resolutions then.
Okay, we have a lot. The first one is to approve the general warranty deed to the Knox County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and it's part of parcel 8.139 acres.
And just so people will know in the community, what's going on here is currently the board of DD out on Upper Gilcrest Road, they don't own the land that they actually sit on. And part of that was over the years, the Ohio Revised Code didn't allow them to own land. And so that now that they can do that and they do maintain that property, the county is going to deed that over so that they have a precise understanding of the property that they have and the land that they will be required to maintain. So that's what's going on this general deed warranty that we're putting together. So take a motion for that.
Motion to approve.
A second.
Those favors say aye.
Aye.
Second item is approving an advertisement for a legal notice invitation to bid for the Knox County Water and Wastewater District to do the development of well number 7.
A motion to approve.
Second.
And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And so that people will understand what this is about, is it on Pikesville Road, and down in Howard, is where our well fields are for the Apple Valley, Howard area. And we have to update our wells every now and then, and this is well number 7, is to go ahead and begin to set that up to develop another well in that area so that we will have ample water for that community.
Motion to approve.
A second.
Those favors say aye. I think we already did that.
Yeah, we did.
Next item is to approve an advertisement for a public notice, and this is for a public viewing and a public hearing to consider the request of Union Township to vacate a portion of an abandoned road, and it's a portion of Bat Nest Road, which is contained within 2 parcels owned by James and Lisa Miller.
And so people that want to go down there and check that out, Bat Nest Road starts in Butler Township and goes into Union Township, and the section that's being looked at to be vacated is that part that's in Union. Do we have a date for that? Was that January?
Yes, it is. The viewing is January 8th at 11 o'clock. And then the following Tuesday, January 13th, will be the public hearing on that.
take a motion for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And those in favor say aye. Aye.
Next item is Courtney from HR is working with Aflac. And they reviewed our county section 125 cafeteria plan, and there was just some minor updates with this new provider to get that updated.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, then right down there.
Okay, the next item is, back in November, Sam Filkins from ADF come, and visited you guys, talked about the, CRA that the city of Mount Vernon, was going to do with the Founder's Grove. Basically, what you need to do is acknowledge and sign the receipt that Mount Vernon has given you the intent to adopt an ordinance granting that exemption from real property taxation. This is nothing that the county commissioners have to approve, they just have to acknowledge receipt that they've been informed of this.
So we don't need to do a motion?
Yes.
We do need the
Motion
motion.
to approve.
Second.
Those in favor of acknowledging this receipt, say aye.
Aye.
And that needs signed as well. Okay, there's a customer service maintenance agreement between Vashu Communications and Knox County 911.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those in favor say aye.
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 The next item you don't have to sign, you just have to approve that the Knox County Treasurer has submitted her annual delinquent tax and assessment collection fund report, also known as the DTAC report.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item is the bed rental agreement between the Knox County Juvenile Court and Muskingum County, Ohio, for the detention of juvenile offenders. This basically reserves bed spaces for those individuals that may need to be detained.
Motion to approve.
Second
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The dollar amount on those was $80 a day per bed.
That is
for
correct.
3 beds to be held for us with 2 additional available.
Next item is the Knox County Department of Job and Family Services procurement plan that was revised in November.
it. Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item is the opioid remediation grant application for improving outcomes for substance addicted inmates in Ohio jails. And this is the grant application that the Knox County Sheriff's Office is submitting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And on that application, it's a grant application for $104,675 that they're going for. And we did receive, or I did receive a letter from the state saying, hey, you need to do this. So I was glad to see that the sheriff's office was able to get that done.
Well, no, somebody. And I don't have the original, so
Yeah, because Brenda signed over.
you sign below because, yeah, you just sign there, Barry.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted to correct it or.
No, I don't have, that is the original, so it's fine. All right, next up, a change order, number 1 from McConnell Contracting This is for the Pleasant Valley Road Bridge replacement. It was an increase of 69,900 for removal of unforeseen concrete bridge abutments and bridge piling.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This requires just Bill to sign. Next one is a change order number 8 from Law General Contracting for the Danville Amity Road Safety Improvement Project. And it's an increase of 106,723.37
Keep
it's
signing
for-
it over very soon.
for final balancing of non-performed, not used and field adjusted items.
Okay, take a motion for that.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those
So
in
do you want me
favor
to
say
do the
aye.
same on this one?
Yeah, I mean, those are the originals, though I don't have copies that we can redo. There is 2 of those though in that.
I think I can.
Bill, you've got another
Right.
one that's got a yellow tag.
Yeah, so you're good on this one to sign that one, Barry.
Are we ready to move on?
Yes, we are.
The next one is a contractor's application for payment number 3 from McConnell Contracting, and it's for the Pleasant Valley Road Bridge replacement, $125,002.01.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it's a bill only. Got another contractor's application for payment number 5 from Law General Contracting, and it's for the Danville Amity Road project. Amount of $1,008,274.89.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That should be completing the Danville Freeway.
We've got a contractor's application for payment number 7 from Law General Contracting for the Danville Amity Road project. Amount of this one is $18,594.84.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
These are all for Bill to sign. Typically. All right, so we got a lot of utility permits. First one is utility permit from Mercury Broadband, and it's for Nunda Road in Brown Township. And this is aerial fiber optic and underground fiber optic.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next one is from Mercury Broadband for Saps Run Road in Brown Township, again for fiber optic.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Another one for Mercury Broadband for Snively Road in Brown Township.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mercury Broadband for Mishy Road in Pike Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mercury Broadband for Raven Road in Brown Township.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have one for Lower Fredericktown Amity Road in Pike Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
We have Mercury Broadband for Mishy Road in Pike Township.
Motion to approve.
Second
Those in favor say aye.
it. Aye.
Mercury Broadband for another Mishy Road area in Pike Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Mercury Broadband for 70 Road in Brown Township.
Motion. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Looks like Brown and
Aye.
Pike are gonna have some internet.
Yes.
All right, and all 3 of you will need to sign each one of these utility permits. And
Let's just start at the end down there.
then we have, several meeting minutes to sign. We have a fund transfer to sign and then bill list and the then and now bill list. To sign.
Just forward those all down, they'll come back again.
Also, since we were canceled on Tuesday, we do have the Human Resources Monthly Report and the Knox County EMA report for you guys to review. Nothing needs to be approved on that. I do have a legislative notice from the Department of Commerce, Division of Liquor Control, for you guys to request or not request a public hearing regarding Wyandotte Golf and Dining, changing to Wyandotte Golf Club LLC for a liquor permit.
Same place,
Right.
same liquor
Name
license, name change.
Name change.
And that's Centerburg, right?
Yeah,
Do you request a hearing on it?
no,
I'm good without a hearing, unless someone in the public from the health department wants to have a hearing.
No comment from me, appreciate the opportunity.
Not for them to decide whether a hearing, though, it's the commissioners.
Well, Zach is one of my favorite people, so I wanted to make sure that he knew. They had full input.
Yeah.
I better check all these signatures.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I was back, good.
Yeah, not bad. Not sure what day it is, I can't keep remembering, it's Thursday. A holiday and lovely weather and
Yes.
So if you'll give us a few more seconds here, Zach, we'll finish signing these signatures and then we'll be able to give our full undivided attention to you.
no problem.
But it's snow days, it's for,
Since I made Kenzie, you bet.
that's what it's snow day, that's the way.
Well, Chief's work had to come in today. I'm sure you had some similar situations, right?
Yeah, I was fearful my mailbox wasn't gonna be able to stay on my door when I walked in, so.
Yeah, tell me
Gotta
about
play Tetris in order to make that fit.
Thank you for reading those.
it.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Ate too much, slept a lot.
Yeah, I mean.
Think I'm done with pumpkin pie and turkey for a while. Yeah, my wife said we can have turkey and noodles, and I said, do we have to? Good to be around the family though.
Yeah.
I think our food was the best ever. It was really good.
Yeah, we had the debate.
Very.
The turkey was moist. No,
Yes,
not until you put gravy on it.
Super moist this year and the dress
See?
was perfect.
There's a moist turkey.
Next page. One more.
And sweet potato casserole, mashed potatoes.
An old carb overload. I'm full.
Oh, yeah.
But
Then you have to eat it again, so you get a double portion.
it's amazing how fast that can make you take a nap.
Yeah.
When my mom was in the hospital, but she gave all the recipes right beforehand to everybody, so it was everyone else's chance to try them out, and they did really. Everybody did well, it was great.
That's awesome.
She's doing well, she's still, so that's good.
It's huge. Did she get a try any of the recipes in the church?
Unfortunately, she could not. She was on a liquid only diet.
Okay.
So she asked us to freeze her plate and we said, we'll just recook it. So that's not gonna be that great to refreeze it.
So secretly, she's like, "Oh, so you screwed up that bad. You're gonna have to recook it." Got it. Yeah.
Someone forgot the salt.
We didn't have any of those errors this year. We've got a few, I'll run some other things. I think it was nice. Like, Mom can't cook, oh no.
We're doomed.
Okay, so now we'll have Zach Dean with us, give us our quarterly update from Knox Public Health.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I will try to be as quick as I possibly can, so Cheryl's not, really hacking too much on everybody. Just a quick update regarding Lyme disease, where we currently are. Year to date, it was 187 cases. Where we were at the end of 2024 was 119. So obviously we've continued to see a substantial increase in black-legged deer tick population and infection. I don't know if you guys have seen with legislation, there's House Bill 578 that's in regards to tick reporting, looking to change Ohio Revised Code language. We already have an infectious disease control manual for a vector of that nature that reports it. It has alpha gal in it, which is not an infectious disease. It's more of a rash-borne disease or rash in general. It's an allergic reaction. So I appreciate where we're trying to go with that. Just trying to create awareness of where we are with ticks in general, and it's going to continue, unfortunately, to be an issue. But you all know, changing anything in a higher revised code, once it's changed, having it modified can be a major issue. So working with legislators and Ohio Department of Health, again, I think the spirit of that is in the right direction. I'm just not sure changing it in the higher revised code is the most appropriate response. I mean, again, that's why we have an infectious disease control manual. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But Lyme, I don't know if you guys have seen an uptick in just black-legged deer ticks in your personal life.
Oh, yeah.
But I was in the woods a couple weeks ago and I pulled over 25 black-legged deer ticks off of me.
Is there an area that is more concentrated?
So there are different we don't know exactly yet, but there are different hotspots in the area. Where I reside, walking around, I don't pull near as many off. Where I was at in the county was about 10 miles away from that. Substantial, right? And that's, we've known that. It's just could be one farm and the next farm doesn't have hardly any.
Yeah, my wife took our dog for a walk. There's another story behind that in the woods. It's on the park, and he gets flea and tick medicine, and there were so many dead ticks on him that we had to actually take him to the groomer. He was just packed, but they were dead because the flea and tick medicine killed him. But yeah, it was amazing how many ticks were on him just from a walk. Yeah, thank God for the flea and tick medicine because they were all dead, still stuck in his hair.
Right.
Weird.
So is it true to the rumor that the health department is going to require all newborn deer be given a vaccination for the ticks so that we won't have this problem?
In partnership with the county commissioners, I think we need to happen.
Well, I heard that rumor.
There is no killing these things, really, is there? Is there?
No.
I mean, there's no spray, no nothing, right?
No, cold weather and it's substantial. And I know we've discussed this before. I want to say it was either 10 days or 14 days at sub below zero.
I remember you said.
But even if you have a one afternoon that gets above that threshold called 20 degrees, I don't remember off the top of my head, it doesn't meet that consecutive day, therefore they continue.
Is it 0 or 31 and below?
I want to say it was 20. My Epi was here when we talked about it. I want to say it was 20 for some reason, but yeah, I mean, it's extremely cold for a long period of time that we in Ohio don't see that.
Yeah.
They got a longer life than a
Or an
cockroach.
intense winter is what you're calling for.
No, I don't know if I'm calling for that. Because my luck is, although we'd be close, we would get that one day that would fall outside of that, right? So yeah, that population's not going away. And
I looked online for like at not Lowe's, but like TSC and stuff like that, whether there was a salt block that you could put out for deer
sure,
that would deal with ticks and doesn't seem.
there's other states that are attempting that,
Good thing.
but none of which that is proved to actually mitigate the threat of ticks.
Yeah.
It's a good
It would
idea.
make sense, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
We know the city around here has the deer all over the place and they come across my property.
Probably with the increase of the deer populations, increase the ticks.
It's definitely a variable, without a doubt. But as we know, the migration of black-legged deer ticks are just continuing to move west. So here we are in Ohio, and our population is just continuing to grow. Deer population obviously is probably not helping how quickly they're able to migrate, but
Yeah, we just need them to migrate to Indiana,
yeah,
get out of our state.
yeah, there you go. I don't think it works that way, but in theory,
You'd have to go on a very big drive. to
Deer
get
limits.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting.
So norovirus, typical head colds right now. We're seeing a substantial increase. The last couple of weeks in particular, your headaches, fevers, unfortunately, GI issues. We have not seen a rise hardly at all in influenza and RSV, so that season has not hit us yet. It is on the right around the corner, as we know, but norovirus in particular is skyrocketing at this point.
And that's from the sewer report that you get that or?
So no, so that wouldn't be in wastewater. That'd be individuals actually going in and getting tested.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've seen an increase in that. Right now, wastewater in particular is influenza, RSV, and COVID are the three primary that they are able to test at the state. Obviously, getting RSV online is great. Norovirus is something that would be outstanding to see that added. But norovirus, as you probably are more than familiar, is highly contagious. So it's extremely important to be constantly doing good hand hygiene. But I cannot stress enough, influenza and RSV is on its way. Typically, we'll see what. Yeah, it's that time of year, man. It's just that time of the year. Other news, piloting a Sensiphone, which is a data logger system for cold storage. Since we're, kind of spread out throughout the county for vaccine management, medicine management that require certain levels of temperature, we were running into issues of if we would lose power and or Wi-Fi disconnection, we wouldn't be notified outside of business hours of potentially the threat of falling out of a threshold of cold storage. So Sensiphone actually has a Verizon built within it to where we're getting those notification processes in a timely manner so we can get out there and if necessary, move that cache of cold storage supplies into a different facility. But looking at, backup power supply for all these different locations, we don't have that type of budget to
Yeah, I
throw.
was gonna say that'd be expensive.
It would be extremely expensive. So the Sensiphone, speaking with a couple of other health districts across the state, they've had good success with Delaware County in particular. So we are piloting that in Danville at this point in time. We were finally awarded our change in scope for Centerburg Schools. It was part of a partnership with our health center grant. We applied for a school-based health center through the Ohio Department of Health for behavioral health and acute care visits. Unfortunately, we were not awarded that. But since we did about a year of planning with Centerburg Schools, we really saw the need and the infrastructure there to be able to outfit a behavioral health counselor on site at the school building. We were waiting for some time with the federal government being shut down, definitely did not help, but we did finally get our notice of award and our licensed social worker LCDC 3, licensed social worker drug dependency counselor 3, December 2nd. So she just started, which now when I say that, she probably didn't because of the weather.
Yeah.
But she's there now as of yesterday.
No, about a 5 day a week.
That's 5 days a week. Yep.
Okay.
And actually her caseload, so we were still operating out of the main site in Mount Vernon. Just as we were waiting for all the credentials from the federal government, she already had a caseload of over 15 kids at Centerburg.
Wow.
Because the families knew that she was coming, and was longer than what we anticipated, but, that's great, but in the back of my mind, I'm
That's a,
going,
that's a big number for a school that size, isn't it?
um, not really, I
No?
wouldn't say. No, I wouldn't say that at all. I mean, you gotta think, it's siblings, right? One starts and they're like, this is beneficial, I want to get Johnny, who's in seventh grade, involved, and
Mm.
it wouldn't take long. I'm fearful that one's not gonna even remotely make it to the end of the year before their caseload's full. And then what do you do, right?
Yeah.
But it's a small step forward. Would I like to see a full-blown health center in all our schools? Sure. It's not financially sustainable. It just isn't. So trying to do bits and parts so that we know that can work and pay dividends for the kiddos, it's huge. So I'm pleased to announce that Ashley Kuhn has started, and we'll be seeing kids at Centerburg. So
So
good thing.
you're in Mount Vernon, now you're in Centerburg. Is Centerburg school larger than Fredericton?
can't answer that, Bill. I really don't know.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty comparable, but
Yeah, I was just curious as to why Centerburg as opposed to Fredericton.
it was just a discussion years ago that they
Okay.
wanted to start having that, and I think that having those individuals at the table, Fredericktown would be interested in having those conversations. It wouldn't one over the other. It was just looking at Medicaid, Medicare populations in that area and knowing what would qualify in the lens of HRSA is the primary tactic, and obviously
Yes,
it's huge.
gotta pay for it, yeah.
You got to pay for it. Yeah, at the end of the day, the services are outstanding, but it can't just be free for everything, right? You got to find sustainability. Thank you. One Ohio grants, in particular, the grief recovery and stigma reduction, and then also the pilot program that we're going to be doing with Dr. Brian Barquette with Knox Health Planning Partnership for biofeedback. I don't know if you guys have ever had the opportunity to meet with Brian, and I think he's a fantastic individual. You probably heard he's here a couple days a week, in particular focusing on post-traumatic stress for our first responders, doing biofeedback and doing this pilot project, being able to take up to 20 participants that are involved in extensive outpatient behavioral health substance use disorder and doing the biofeedback with it. It's an outstanding idea, and if it truly pays dividends, being able to roll that out to any of those providers, it helps with burnout. That was the biggest thing Brian said. He's like, look, you have all these licensed independent social workers that really find themselves dealing with the same individual for years without any progression. How well do they feel like they're being effective, and being able to take the biofeedback and see the change in brain waves? It's fascinating stuff, and hopefully,
I think that's becoming very popular, actually, isn't it?
I think so too. Yeah. I know Jordan Moore's doing that as well.
Yeah.
And Jordan and Brian, that's how they connected.
Right.
When we were able to connect with Brian down at the 206
I
South
think the
Mulberry.
VA is starting to get involved in that too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, hey, if it works, by all means.
Can you describe that a little bit more as when you say bio?
Yeah, so
Like doing blood work or what?
Yeah,
That's
so-
it's brain.
correct. So I want to say maybe 8 connections that, and it just measures. They just watch a movie, and then it monitors what side of the brain's working faster than the other, for example. And he's able to take that back and then work through some of those traumatic experiences in their life and slow some of those brain left sides faster than the right, for example. So it's just a measuring tool. It's not.
But they can use it to adjust some brain waves too, so you don't
Yeah,
have.
there's again.
Dramatic.
So you had it done, Barry?
No, it was explained to me for PTSD when it first came out. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah. When they said it could change brain waves, I'm like, man, I got trouble now.
Yeah.
But no, it's become very popular with veterans and first responders.
Yeah, and
traumatic
with
incidents.
EMDR,
Kevin's gonna want to buy one of those machines.
and being able to use EMDR too.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
helps address that.
Great. Then.
Yeah, fantastic. So thank you.
Moves along, yeah.
I mean, the last thing, I had 2 individuals retiring, so I wanted to give them credit. So Dar Butts and Judy Miller, they'll be retiring. One will be retiring at the end of the calendar year, and then the next one will be in February. Both been with the agency for 20 years. Dar has over 35 years of public service. Dar is our public service rep in Danville. And then Judy did our home health and then went and worked
Yeah.
with KCH as well when we transferred the home health agency. Fantastic individuals and true public servants. So
Probably want to recognize.
congrats to them, and might be just a little bit jealous, but they paid their dues, so credit
You
due.
got some years left.
Yeah, maybe a few, maybe a few. So what questions do you guys have for me?
I appreciate the work you guys do.
Yeah, thank you.
I know there was a lot of discussion last time about AI and the impact on students.
Sure.
Have we come up with any thoughts or solutions?
So not KHPP met yesterday. I don't, were you in attendance
I was
yesterday?
at CCA, the
Yeah.
commissioners meeting
Okay.
downtown.
So unfortunately I had sick kids, so I was not in,
So we both don't know.
yeah, so I do not know of anything that's transitioned. They had an emotional health forum that was conducted at the end of October. I know Cheryl was working on doing a press release on that, but that would be my vision of the next potential emotional health forum is having a forum specific on AI.
And educating the children and youth
Yes.
that this is not an advisor, a parent, a counselor, a pastor. It doesn't take the place of any of those people in your life.
Right.
It is simply really a feedback loop telling you what you kind of want to hear and giving you some research that's out there that could be faulty and wrong.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think maybe the last discussion that we had was maybe being able to utilize our teen advisory council tack. So it's more peer on peer discussion. But it's an animal.
Yeah. My son is actually down in Texas right now
Okay.
for an AI conference for 3 or 4 days. So I'm waiting for him to get back to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
My son in Florida.
Yeah, there's some classes at the Commissioners, County Commissioners Association today that actually on AI. I'm gonna attend one of those this afternoon.
Okay.
So I'm
But
actually.
there are a lot of good tools in there, but we've got to
I'm not
gotta
here.
be careful of the impact on young people and everybody really.
Yeah, everybody really, for sure. But vulnerable populations, when you talk about, we were all
Well, right,
naive at
right.
that age, right? Especially invincible, but there's a lot of upside to it, so you don't want to completely discredit it.
No, there's a lot of good things, but there's
But
bad.
it's like anything. A tool can be used in the wrong light at any point in time. So
Look at
raising and awareness and education on that is something.
cell phones. I mean, there's nothing,
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Zach, thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
all.
Christmas.
You too.
All your people, the peeps.
Peeps.
Make sure you wash your hands.
As you should.
Yes, yes, sir.
Back to carrying the sanitizer in my pocket.
Every pocket.
Mm.
I gotta stay here.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
You.
So, Commissioner, you have anything you want to share?
Just that I was at the CCAO meeting downtown yesterday. There was a lot of discussion about taxes, Bill Massey and the tax abolishment. They were sharing about that and there's obviously a lot of controversy about how that impacts local governments and speaking with him, he said the real answer he felt was that it needs to go to more money from the state needs to go to the local level and that would solve a lot of problems with it all. So I guess we'll see how that all works out. And I also attended first year commissioners meeting and it was interesting to hear everybody's perspective on their first years as commissioners and a lot of good conversation there on that. Today there's going to be some AI discussion or tax discussion. I'll be in those meetings this afternoon.
Commissioner?
Fair board meeting last night. They're starting to budget and plan their fair for this year. So they're gonna be busy folks there. But other than that, it went well.
And you're at
Was
Veterans.
at the veterans meeting yesterday. Listen to their board. And I'm gonna have some conversation about some of the things there, so we'll see how that goes, but yeah, trying to stay active.
And then we will do a visit out to the jail so that we can see how our building project is coming out there. And I know Jason is meeting with the architect out to jail tomorrow, as well as talking about our Knox County Transit Facility, where we are with that design. The back of the service center is done. If people have not gone back there, that's done. And then we will be talking about budget here in the next week or two. So we trust everyone will have a good weekend, a nice snowy weekend to go sled riding. We know that we all say go Bucks for Saturday night championship game.
I call it sliding down because I won't walk back up.
So I'll take a motion for adjournment then,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
and we stand adjourned. Thank you.